Justin Herbert, first guy on our list. He was QB9 in 2020. In 2021, he's going as QB7 ADP. I have him as QB4. You have him consensus lower, which is QB7. Mm-hmm. Is there any way he can move up in your rankings?
I've really tried to move him up my rankings, but I don't see a way I could move him above the other guys I currently have ranked ahead of him. He's my quarterback 7. Mm. I just can't put him above Tom Brady, Dak, Lamar, obviously the top 3 elite guys either. I'm a little bit more worried than you. Obviously, you have him as your quarterback 4, so you're all in on Herbert. The good is obvious, right? The offensive line is better, significantly better. Austin Eckler is healthy. Mm-hmm. There's very clear, good reasons to believe in Justin Herbert. But let me tell you the reasons why I'm more worried than you. First reason is I think this defense is going to be significantly better in 2021. Got Joey Bosa, Tillery on the offensive line. Kenneth Murray's going into his second year. Chris Harris, which is still one of the better cornerbacks in the league. And more importantly, Derwin James, I believe, is the best safety in the NFL when healthy. Now, he hasn't been healthy for a long time, but getting Derwin James back and hopefully healthy for the entire year, that could significantly change this defense. They also drafted Asante Samuel, cornerback out of Florida State, one of the guys that we really liked out of the draft. Mm-hmm. If this defense stays healthy, I think they're going to be better, and I think that Justin Herbert's not going to need to throw the ball as many times as he did in 2020.
Right.
The other thing I will say quickly is that I think we're underestimating the Hunter Henry hole that's going to be in this offense.
Okay.
I know Eckler's back. I know Keenan Allen can take as many targets as possible. But Hunter Henry was a nice little blanket for Justin Herbert in his rookie year. You take out Hunter Henry, which I still think is a very talented tight end, and you replace him with Jared Cook. Jared Cook was a walking corpse all last year. He just looked bad, man. And I just don't think that he can fill the Hunter Henry role. It's not going to be significant, but it is something to note. That's why I can't put him into the elite category yet.
Right. And,
those two things.
Yeah, I already have him in the elite category. And the things that you already touched on, his offensive line, obviously Corey Lindsey, we've been raving. They drafted Rashad Slater in the defense, which is the key thing that you brought up, which is one thing I wanted to bring up. Who's their head coach now? Brandon Stanley, right? Mm-hmm. He came from the Rams last year. What do we know about the Rams? Top 5 defenses or defense. So I think that's a huge key part to play for Justin Herbert because, he probably doesn't have to throw the ball more, but he will be on the field more. Well, in the reality is that he's going to have more of an opportunity. We thought we saw him with a lot of opportunity last year. He's going to have even more this year if that defense
can stay healthy. To be honest, though. I disagree because, if you're in a better position in the game, if you're not down in games, then you don't need to throw the ball as much as you did. I feel like
you're right.
If the defense is better, we're going to see more Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson, maybe even Larry Roundtree involved in this offense. I don't think there's a scenario where they're up 2 touchdowns and they're like, hey, man, let's keep slinging that ball. Our defense is killing. It just doesn't. You want to slow the game down. Why would they do that?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. We both know what division they're in with the Chiefs and the Raiders. Yeah. I think they're gonna be and the Broncos. There's gonna be a lot of talent in games that they're gonna have to be trailing by. But another thing I wanted to point was their offensive coach, and I thought that was a huge key part here as well because
coordinator.
Yeah, offensive coordinator. Joe Lombardi, obviously the legend, the descendant from Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL. But one key thing is that who did Joe Lombardi coach for the past, 8+ years? It was Drew Brees over there in the Saints. So what do we know about Drew Brees? He loves to throw. Obviously, he had Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara and Austin Eckler do not equate to each other at all. But I still believe that they're going to bring in that offense, and he's going to grow. He's going to throw. And there's going to be a lot of growing pains, but I still believe that Justin Herbert can finish as a top 5 quarterback.
Well, if you're thinking growing pains, why would he be your quarterback 4?
I think every year is growing pains for somebody coming into a new offense.
Okay.
I think overall there is going to be some games where he struggles, but I think the kid's smart and he's going to come in and he's going to take this offense, under his wing and it's going to be his.
Let me say, Justin Herbert is an insane talent. Mm-hmm. Looks to be like one of the top quarterbacks for the next 10 years. Let's just clear that.
Okay.
But I think there's a mental side to this second year. I would argue that year 2 is actually a bigger deal than year 1. In year 1, if you're a good quarterback, what happened with Baker Mayfield? Lights out, played lights out. And the expectations were so high. He was being overdrafted in every fantasy draft, right? Very different offenses, but I'm trying to give you kind of a perspective where I'm at.
Right.
Same thing with Justin Herbert. Lights out in year 1, absolutely balled out. There's a mental aspect to that second year. You are expected to be a certain player. You are expected to answer, was it a fluke? Yes or no? And some people can get through that mental battle. Others cannot. I think Herbert can, but I'm kind of erring on the side of caution with this year 2. He's going to be lethal in his career, but I just have slight worries. I'll say in redrafts, I'm probably not taking Herbert. I'm passing on the price. But in Dynasty, I'm all in. I'm all in for Justin Herbert in a Dynasty. He's my quarterback 4 in Dynasty. He's your quarterback 4 in Dynasty. So I'm all in on him in a Dynasty perspective. I'm just maybe going to skip out on this second year to find out in a redraft perspective.
Right.
Is this someone I can really consider elite just yet, or does he still need time to grow?
Look, it's a good, I guess, counter. But I guess the best thing I can tell you is that I believe in the kid. They got rid of Anthony Lynn, which one thing that you hated last year.
Yes, I did.
Because he was just calling terrible plays. And I think with the new head coach, Brandon Stanley, and then Joe Lombardi, I think it's all going to come together.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.